What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So, I've been mentioning past couple weeks that especially this last weekend and the weekend coming up are pretty big, like official visits weekends for a lot of these high school kids coming in, whether it's next off season or the season after. A lot of very talented guys, including like the number one linebacker in the country, Anthony Hill Jr., who said he had a great weekend. A lot of other guys, DJ Uiagalelei, one of the top defensive ends from St. John Bosco here in California as well. Or at least, it's not DJ, it's his brother, so I think it's Mateo Uiagalelei. But yeah, he's going to be one of the bigger guys they can hopefully get. And as of last night, Sunday night, Lincoln Riley's been doing this, keeping this tradition going where they'll put up the fight on emoji signs on Twitter in case there is someone that has committed, but whether it comes out sooner or later, whether it is official or not, they kind of only put it up if it is official. But as of right now, we only heard of one guy, but there were 4 emojis after yesterday, so it's pretty cool that there will be 4 new guys. We just don't know exactly when they will announce, but one guy has officially announced today. They actually flipped a Cal commit, so he was going up there to UC Berkeley, but now he's decided to change his mind and said LA is his home. He's going to come to USC. He is a 3-star, almost 4-star offensive lineman and defensive lineman, but he is coming to USC to play on the offensive line. He is 6'5", almost 300 pounds. He's a pretty big guy. His name is Amos Talalele. I believe that's how you say it. But yeah, it's a pretty big guy. Another Polynesian guy, so USC always gets a lot of the great Polynesian players out there, so it's definitely good to keep that tradition going for them as well. So definitely very happy about this commitment. Then Darvin Ham of the Lakers has finally hired officially, because everybody keeps talking about Rasheed Wallace, but I haven't seen anything official about him. But he has hired a top assistant that he stole from the Hawks. I believe it's an ex-co-worker, because Ham used to be an assistant coach with the Hawks as well, with Mike Budenholzer before he went to Milwaukee with them. And I guess he was one of the lead guys out there for the Hawks, but Chris Gent, never really heard about him, but I guess he's played quite a bit of games in the NBA, so he's been around for a while. So he's going to be the top assistant for the Lakers. So it's not going to go to Rasheed Wallace, but hopefully Wallace does end up coming to be one of the other lower assistants on the coaching staff. And then the Lakers were also in the news saying that they were interested, as they always seem to be, in another top NBA player from Washington, and Bradley Beal. I know this is going to be a tough trade because I know he wants a really big contract, but he also kind of wants to stay with Washington. He doesn't really want to leave at all, and he wants to build something there, but nobody of a higher caliber in the NBA players-wise really wants to go there and play with him. So it's kind of, when is he officially going to want to actually win instead of just playing a mediocrity out there? But I don't know. It'll be very tough for the Lakers to get this done. I don't know if they could do it where they keep both LeBron and AD on the same team, and I don't know if Washington will want to take back Russell Westbrook, who they traded to them last year. And plus there's like a thing where it has to be a full calendar year before a player could get traded back to the team they were traded from last year, which is kind of a weird deal, so it wouldn't have happened anyways. But it is nice to think about a big 3 like that, but I have a feeling Beal is going to be going somewhere else, like Miami or freaking Boston, which is going to suck, but he's going to stay on the Eastern Conference because it is a lot easier over there. And then the recently added Jordan Addison, one of the top players USC got in the transfer portal. Apparently he put up on Twitter that he is going to be wearing the number 3 jersey, which is kind of surprising because it is retired, so not any player is allowed to really wear it because it's retired for Carson Palmer, their Heisman Trophy winning quarterback in the early 2000s. But apparently he gave his blessing, and that's what you kind of got to do with these guys to get some of the top recruits to be able to play on your team. You have to get the blessing to bring down an old retired number. Maybe it's going to go back to being retired after Addison leaves after this year. I'm pretty sure he's not staying 2 years, but we'll see how that goes. I know people probably really want to wear Reggie Bush's number 5 because they grew up with him, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Then Duke's Paolo Banchero, yes, he's making the rounds, working out with teams, and pretty much came out saying that he is the best in the draft, which if you want to have total confidence for your being one of the top 5 players out there, you got to have that. I don't know if he is or not, but he definitely has the potential to be, especially if he lands in the correct spot. But it's good to have that confidence, and apparently there are a lot of rumblings that Orlando at number 1 and Oklahoma City are going with the 2 other guys, Jabari Smith or Chet Holmgren, whichever order that goes in. And then Banchero is going to land with Houston, which is actually, I think, his better destination. Yeah, Oklahoma City could be a better place, but they need more of a defensive guy, which is what Holmgren is, which is why he'll probably be going there. Banchero will definitely help you offensively, not really help you defensively, but he is kind of like in the mold of a little bit thicker version of Kyle Kuzma, in my opinion. Even though Kuzma might be a little bit faster, a little bit more athletic, I still think offensively they're pretty close, in my opinion, and it's pretty much what you gotta be looking for. I know Kuzma wasn't even looked at very highly. He went like late first round, and of course now that type of player is gonna be selected number 3 overall. It's pretty crazy, but that's how the NBA draft goes, I guess. Then a recent study or article said that USC football has the number 2 rated wide receiver group, so all the receivers they have at their school are considered number 2 overall in the country, which is pretty cool. Sadly, I think they're behind Ohio State, I believe it was, which kind of doesn't make sense because I know they only have like maybe 1 or 2 guys that I even know, but they must have a lot of good, talented recruits coming in or already on there that I don't even know about, that these people, whoever made the article, considered more highly rated. But overall, it's not bad being number 2 because hopefully you can do a lot of stuff in the college football playoff coming up. Then a pretty quick happy birthday to Evan Mobley, the ex-USC player, was drafted pretty high for Cleveland. He's doing pretty well for them. Hopefully he has another good sophomore year coming up later in the fall, but it did kind of remind me because they did put up another article saying that USC is like one of 6 schools in the past 4 NBA drafts to have a player selected in either round, which is pretty cool. Not a lot of teams get that luxury, I guess, but I know USC is trying to get the other goal. I think the last 3 years they've had a player selected in the first round for both the NFL and NBA, which is, I think they're only like maybe 1 of 2, maybe the only team that has done that. So to do it for another 4th straight year would be pretty cool. I just don't think another USC guy is going to get selected in the first round this year, in my opinion, unless somebody really likes them. It's going to suck. That streak might go down, but for football, they're definitely going to get it next year, in my opinion. Then, when it comes to... Sorry, I lost my spot. Yes, to end off with some miscellaneous news. I don't know if I did talk about this or not. I could have. I don't remember sometimes about the miscellaneous stuff I talk about, but it was also the 21-year anniversary of Blink-182's 4th or 5th album. I forget what it's called, but it came out in the early 2000s. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. Some people still don't get that little joke that's in there, but yeah, it had songs like Anthem Part 2, First Date, you know, Shut Up. There's a lot of good songs on there. Breakfast Abandoned, Take Me Home, Stay Together for the Kids. There's a lot of good bangers on there, so definitely excited that they were all talking about it, even Tom DeLonge, so hopefully that kind of helps them mold their differences later. And then to end off with some of the bigger miscellaneous news, so yes, speaking of Tom DeLonge again, he wrote these other type of novels called Secret Machines, which is more of a pretty much a type of different story he wrote with another guy named AJ Hartley. It's pretty much the same thing about conspiracies and UFOs and all that stuff, but putting it together in a form of like, I don't want to say Da Vinci Code, but more of like those type of books, those fantasy type of, I don't know what nonfiction or fiction. I think nonfiction means it's real and fiction means it's fake. I don't freaking know what the difference is with books, but whatever. But yes, it was a made up story, something like that. But apparently Legendary Pictures, who is pretty much owned by Warner Brothers, a secondary division, they decided to get the rights to those books and be able to adapt a TV series for whatever streaming service they have. So be pretty cool to see what type of stuff they come up with, especially if they stick with the paranormal type of things. But I mean, he's already working on a show supposedly that they pretty much the same division of Warner Brothers bought for their Stranger Times or whatever it was as well. So a lot of stuff coming out, especially when it comes to the TV adaptation or TV series for Tom DeLonge and his different adventures, which is pretty cool. But I just think it means that we're not going to get a lot of Angels and Airwaves music coming up in the near future, which is going to freaking suck, but oh well. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. I did put together a little bit of a Father's Day thing of stuff I got and something that happened prior to that, but I'm going to save it to the end of the video. So yeah, enjoy that, and thanks for watching. Bye.
I can't, my nails are...
Because his fingers are as big as his thumb.
That's what she said. Alright, ready? So I just start sucking it, right? Yeah. Oh wow, I see you got an advantage already. Ready?
Wait,
One, two.
Yeah.
Oh. Don't fall over, Dad.
I did not win.
Nice.
Nobody
That was
beats
good.
Julie.
I'll take that challenge.
Oh.
In 10 minutes. Is
Just kidding.
that your first time ever?
Yeah.
You're good. You should go for real.
Yeah.
Well,
You
at
don't
least you
drink
guys
the
know
phone.
I don't suck that well.